How is everybody holding in there and doing? Um, I hope you're all surviving as well as you can. Funny thing is, I can hear my family outside my office right now fighting. And so I should probably just give you guys a glimpse into that. See that, we all are kind of getting on each other's nerves, and that's to be expected, right? This is uh, something that's totally new. We've gone through this a lot in our lives where just something, you think life's going to go left and then it goes right. And how do you deal with that? And what do you do? I love that. I was reading the scriptures and I still have to teach my class, but now I teach it online, which isn't as fun. But because you're all in these boxes, and I know they aren't paying attention as much as when I'm in person with them, and so that's kind of hard. Now everybody is on Zoom, and everybody knows what Zoom is, and all of that. But I was reading in Matthew, or actually it's at the end of John, and it's at the very end of John when they're like. It's in the last chapter, and they're going. Christ had come already twice before they'd seen him. They'd seen the resurrected Christ. And then start of chapter 21 in John, they go fishing. And everybody knows the last half of that chapter. The last half of the chapter is when Jesus, asked Peter, "Do you love me?" And then he's like, "If you love me, feed my sheep." But what I love is the first part of that chapter, the very first part, because they're fishermen. That's what they do. And Christ has left them. And it's almost like it makes me see Peter as real, because it's, what am I going to go do? I guess let's go fishing. They didn't quite know what to do. We've seen the resurrected Christ. We know these things. As a matter of fact, that Christ had already given them the authority to go and preach, but they didn't know what to do. This was a whole new thing they'd never experienced. And so they went back to what they know. And that was, they went fishing. And they didn't catch anything. And then Christ comes, and he comes, and then that's when you hear the famous, when Christ asked Peter, "Do you love me?" It's like, "If you love me, feed my sheep." But after, I love this. I love this story because Peter seems so real. And he didn't quite know what to do. I mean, he didn't know what to do. And during this time, we kind of feel like, what do I do? What, it's a whole new routine. It's all new for everyone. For everyone. This is something new. And so, we can go about doing what we're used to doing in a different way, of course, or we can ask Christ, what do you need me to do? In a couple weeks, it's going to be Easter. And it's going to be a time when we celebrate and remember the resurrection, that Christ broke the bands of death. And I'm so grateful for this time of year. I love it. I love Easter. But are we going to be like Peter, which is a very real response, where we just do what we know, what we're comfortable doing, just going about our daily lives? Or are we going to be disciples of Christ? And he says, "Do you love me?" "Lord, you know I love thee. Then feed my sheep." I love, now granted, I know I live in a different part of the country than a lot of people, but I love seeing so many different faiths testifying of Christ and of God now. Because he is real. And no matter the commotion of the world, I know that God loves me and loves you, and that we're all his children. And so if I can, these next couple weeks, just focus on Christ in preparation for Easter, I will. Because I know I am happiest when I am reading my scriptures. And I know that when I start my day by reading my scriptures, my day just goes better. Doesn't go perfect, doesn't mean it's easy. It's just I have a peace in me. So use this time wisely. This is a great time. And I want to have a shout out to Cam Wong. I don't know if you're watching this. My son says you do. And so if you are, hello. I'm so glad you watched this. And I think it's funny that my kids, they think it's so weird that you think that you watch this. So thanks, Cam, for telling everybody and for watching these. I hope you all have a wonderful week. We'll see you.